Hey y'all, I'm Lachlan, and yes, this is the inevitable island tour of Calabaza, my 30 days ACNH challenge island that you may or may not have been following along in the series. If you have not, I will include a playlist down below if you want to see how this island has come together in 30 IRL days. But very quickly, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If you're excited for this island tour, let me know in the comments what your favorite thing about the island is. But for the final time, here are the rules. I have to complete an island in 30 days. I have to make it a 5-star island. I can't use treasure islands or any of my other Animal Crossing islands for help. And I have to make 1 million bells in pumpkin profits. And we did all 4 of those things, not completely in order, but we did accomplish all of those. And here's my flag from day 1 from that first video, if you did tune into that. But let's just get into the island tour and let's see what the whole island turned out. But before we go into the island, I just want to quickly go over my villagers. We have Pashmina. She's been here since day 1. We've got Benjamin, Sydney, Carlos, Gabby, Rattle, Marshall, Rocket, Whitney, and Fret. And there is the dream address down below if you would like to visit along with me. But here is the entrance, one of the first builds that we did. Just like a little market here. I'm not going to go into full detail on all of these places because you've probably seen it if you watched the series. So I'm basically just going to do a run through. But the theme of the island was essentially just pumpkins, because calabaza in Spanish means pumpkins or gourd. And so I needed to use pumpkins throughout the entire island. And so there are pumpkins everywhere. There's not as many in spaces like this, but there is one area on the island that has a lot. So here is the campsite. Very cozy over here. This pond was already here. This was part of the map. I didn't have to do anything. So I kept it and I placed Blather's tent here. And yes, he's still in his tent. He will never leave. Nature and things. I did a lot of decorating, but around resident services, not so much. Here is our prized possession, the Lily of the Valley, which means we reached 5 stars. That is the trophy for the island. But you will wake up here. It's not very far from the entrance, as you can tell. But I'm going to go to the left first, and we'll work our way around the island. I'm not going to go over whose house is who, because I would have to remember that, and I do not. But we have a house here. And we've got a little candy in front. Some of the beaches have very light decorating. Most of it is just candy and weeds, as you can tell, and palm trees. But another early item was this. I believe Pashmina gave me this, so it's very fitting that it's still there. Got another villager home here. So this is essentially just a 3 little home neighborhood, I guess. It's just a lot of pumpkins. I kept it very easy and very simple. I added this very spooky piano, which was very expensive. So that is there, but it is surrounded by nature, weeds, and pumpkins essentially. And just a tiny little picnic blanket over here, but nothing special. But we have 3 homes in this little throuple. Are they a throuple? Are we making them a throuple? We've got Carlos, I believe, Fret, and Benjamin. They're the 3 that are over here. I can't remember whose house is who, but that is who is over here. Now I'm going to go up the beach this way, and then I'll head back down, and we'll finish out down there. On the peninsula, nothing original, but we've got the lighthouse here and some fireworks and some party poppers. Yes, that's what they're called. So if you would like to, light some fireworks, you got them right here. But, nothing exciting, but there is a lighthouse, that it's one of those very expensive Nook Mile items. Another little sitting spot over here. And then leading up to the secret beach, we've got a shrine to Jack, who is part of the Halloween event, if you do not know that. We've got a little offering, a little thing for him back there. Back to the thruple neighborhood, we're gonna go on up. Got a small arcade here. And then this is probably my favorite part on the island, and where the pumpkin theme really comes into play. And I'll do a very slow walkthrough so you can really take this in. I'm glad that the time has kind of changed a bit. It's a little bit darker, but not too dark. But you can see all of the glowing pumpkins through here. And this is just my favorite area. This was what I imagined throughout the island. I couldn't make it a reality because that would take so many pumpkins, but I at least was able to do it in one area of the island, and I'm so happy about it. And this is Whitney's yard. She is the lucky person to enjoy all of these pumpkins on her island. I'm gonna go up here and then we'll go back that way. There are ladders, but I did leave a ladder for you, but there's really nothing up here. Not up here anyways. All of this is just natural. I didn't spend a lot of time decorating up here. This was pretty much one of the last things I did were the top cliffs. But we do have a little duo, a dynamic duo of sorts. We have Marshall with a lot of white items. And then we have the lovely Rocket here. Yes, I do have Rocket on this island, and I did in fact choose to have her. She was a campsite villager, and so she's got all of the pink items, and Marshall is her little friend, her little neighbor. There's a little sneaky lore on the island where the pumpkin, pumpkin soup, the pumpkin juice, anything that has pumpkin in it is not just pumpkin. It's a little bit more sinister than that, and if you see these bones back here, you can maybe make your own assumptions about it. But heading over this bridge is the shopping district. We've got Able Sisters here, where we've got some costumes on sale. We've got some clothes being made, maybe. We've got a few spooky items and some pumpkins. We've got a little courtyard here and a duster. That's what that is. I was like, I can't remember what I placed here. It was so long ago, it felt like. But I do have a little duster here if you feel so inclined to dust the shelves of Nook's Cranny. But we have a fountain as well. And I love this fountain the most because you can actually sit on it, which is very nice. Now you could head down this way and it leads you to the pathway behind resident services. But we are going to go right back around towards the right. Now this is the Mushroom Forest. I didn't necessarily use any islands for help. I did not use treasure islands, but I did not limit myself to not using the Mario items because I wanted to use these mushrooms. I really like the height that they give, and I really wanted a mushroom forest. It seems very autumnal to have a mushroom forest, and so I had to put that here. So we've got all three, the next thruple, I guess you would say. Up here we've got Sydney, we've got Pashmina, the OG of the island, and then we've got Gabby here. And I might have gotten those two houses mixed up. I can't remember whose houses is who, but those are the three gorals that we have in this area. All the homes have something like this around it. I wanted to make them a little bit cohesive by doing that. But moving up the mushroom forest, you can walk this way. But going around this way, we've got Rattle. He's over here on the back side of the island. Very fitting, very sinister. What is he studying? A pumpkin? Why? What could he possibly be doing? And we have a graveyard. So it all leads back to that little tiny lore that kind of developed. I didn't really have a plan with that at the beginning, but it kind of came about in its own way. I did not have this planned out, but there is a graveyard here in front of Rattle's house. He may or may not be using that chainsaw over there. You know, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to go super deep into it, but there is some light lore. Again, I placed some sneaky little ladders. You can use this one and go back there, but there's really nothing there. But I added it there in case you want to just walk all the way around instead of having to go down here like I'm doing right now. Okay, we are back at resident services, and I forgot to mention, when you wake up, there are some items here. I did create a costume for you and a little light stick that you can carry around, so you can go and pick those up. I didn't think you can see this from the entrance, but I do have the spooky carriage here. That was one of those last minute items I was able to get from Jack during the Halloween event. And then all through here, it's a lot of natural things. We've got flowers and weeds and trees. Not a whole lot. And then I've got a pond here that is man-made. Actually, in fact, it is woman-made. It is Locklith made. I made this pond. I wanted it right by my house. And I left all of the money trees here, y'all. So if you would love to shake up my money trees, go on ahead. I left them here for you. I gave you that lovely little activity. But this is the biggest financial decision that I made. So one of the goals was 1,000,000 bells and pumpkin profits is one of the first goals that we were able to accomplish. And I couldn't have done it without this big pumpkin farm. This was a go-to. I had to have it, and it helped a lot with making all of those spooky items as well. So that is the huge pumpkin farm that I have. Light decorating on the beaches. I just love the pumpkins, like even just like little clusters of them like this. I love it so much. And then I left all of my fruit trees. So I have the pears are the actual fruit of the island, but I was able to get oranges and cherries. You essentially can only end up getting like 3 fruits on your own without visiting someone else. So unfortunately I don't have a full set, but that's fine. And then the sole pear tree is right here by my house. I just wanted one. I didn't want pears all over the place. So I just have the one there. And then we've got this little guy here too. But this is my house. I will show y'all that at the very end. I'll head up this way first because we're almost done. There's a little picnic spot back here. Some more pumpkins. Again, you can go up this ladder over here. Hello, there we go. Not a whole lot going on, but I did make this little trickle waterfall thing here. And you can also walk up there as well. I did light terraforming and waterscaping on the island, but for the most part, the map is how the map was when I decided to choose this island. But that's pretty much it back there. I'm gonna go into my house and show you all that for the last little bit. And this is my house. Not a whole lot. I kept it fairly tiny, not because I didn't want to earn the bells to upgrade it, but more so because I didn't want to decorate more than one room. And this was one of the things that I made sure to do before I would forget. And so as I was collecting items, this whole room was put together. And obviously the spooky like rug here, the wallpaper and the flooring were kind of last minute things. And I do have Jack, a very big theme on this island and also in my house. But that is it, y'all. That is the end of the tour. I kind of breezed through it, but it's only because it doesn't get very deep. There is some subtle lore here, and there are a lot of pumpkins, but we definitely focused mainly on the 4 goals that I needed to do in this 30 days challenge for ACNH. But I had so much fun doing this. I've never completed an island as quickly as I've completed this, if you want to call this island complete. There is still plenty of space on the island I could design, but that's just the clutter core in me really trying to do the most, because that's just what I do. But like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If you watched the series and enjoyed it, let me know down below, and let me know your favorite part of this island tour. Let me know your thoughts about it. Let me know if you are also doing a 30 days challenge, because this has been so much fun. It has been a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie, but it was so much fun to put together, and I'm very happy and pleased with the final product of Calabaza. So thank y'all so much for hanging out with me and watching my series as this island has developed, and supporting me as well. And also, thank you so much for watching.